proud of her. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
To be in these places at the time that. So yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Because hear what happened now. I told you the Jamaican accent was gonna come out. I'd love to be able to name all the bands, and I can. But I know I'm gonna miss.
You've been called selfless, you've been called kind, loving, all kinds of stuff. We know you're passionate about. Talk about your little 10-month-old son. Yeah. Talk about that, your pride and joy, of course.
I love my son. His name is Jawari, and he was born on Christmas Day.
Wow. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited, as you can tell, to be rapping with my girl. I love this lady so much. Her name is Kathy English-Holt. She's a healing and cultural artist, and of course, she is Senghor's Tender Love. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you. It's so good to be here. So good to be here.
How have you been since the last time I saw you sharing the stage with your son?
I have been so busy. I've been so busy, you know, working on this project that you graced us with your presence and many photographs and putting us up on Facebook and everything. You know, I've been working on a project, I Thanks to Collard Greens, which is it started out as a 1-week summer retreat for 20 girls. And since the middle of May, well, since the middle of last month, we have blown up, and we're going to now have a 6-week summer camp for girls ages 5 to 13 in Washington, D.C., teaching them the ways of woman in the tradition of Dr. Nannie Helen Burroughs.
Okay, so let's pause right there and talk about Dr. Nannie Helen Burroughs.
Right.
You were inspired by her story, and you started a whole bunch of stuff leading up to Nannie Live, a stage play that you have done.
Yes.
Talk about your inspiration for using this historical black figure as opposed to any other female.
Right. Well, back in 2007, I had a healing crisis, which took me away to a beautiful retreat center in South Carolina, which you know very well, Pepisode, run by Brother Swami Gyan Kirti. And I was there in service, loving service, in an attempt to heal myself, serve myself, but also to serve those who came on retreat there. And so while I was there, I was cooking and cleaning and doing massage, which is the way I make my living. And I took a book with me by Dr. Karen Davis. It was actually her PhD dissertation on Nannie Helen Burroughs and Anna Julia Cooper. And the whole story was about the upliftment of women and how these two women spent their entire lives working towards the goal of raising the consciousness of girls and helping them bloom into beautiful women. And while reading that book and walking the grounds, because there's 135 acres there, I was listening, and what Spirit was telling me was that I needed to find a way to bring a group of young ladies to South Carolina and help them learn how to be on the land, to be in meditation as I was every day, and to go back to the ways of our grandmothers in being in nature, cooking, cleaning, talking, singing, shucking corn, poking peas, and just really enjoying what we grew up doing as little people. Our children have gotten away from that. Our girls in this city, in this concrete jungle, are so focused on technology. And so what I decided with a girlfriend of mine, my oldest friend, we named the project I Things to Collard Greens in an attempt to take them away from all the technology, give them 1 week in peaceful grounds, silence, music, meditation, yoga, dance, in addition to cooking for themselves, gardening, playing, making green cleaning supplies, learning how to make small business decisions that would grow into big business decisions. And we applied for a grant through the Children's Youth Investment Trust here in Washington, and through Arts for Our Children, who is my fiscal agent. We got it, and we're going to have a 6-week program.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. Now let's talk about, I know that you are an actress and a singer, and you do a whole bunch of stuff. So when I saw the production, Nannie Live, I wasn't surprised that you could pull it off, but I was blown away by the way that you pulled it off. But I want to talk about the production of that. I know you had to study Nannie some more. I know you had to reach out to her family members to get everything right, content-wise. Talk about that whole journey.
Well, there's a wonderful man here in this area who, Colonel Jim Wyatt is his name, and he has a website, N.H. Burroughs Talks. That was a great source of information for me, because I didn't have time to go down to the Library of Congress and rummage through all of the boxes that are there on Nannie Helen Burroughs. But I did read several books about her, and I went to his website, and it was from that website I was able to pull out some speeches, significant speeches that she made. The other thing is that I had on YouTube a few years ago, I did a short speech of Nannie Helen Burroughs to the UNIA-ACL convention here in Washington. And it was up on YouTube, and one morning I was coming downstairs to meditate, and something said turn on the computer. I turned on the computer, and I had an email from a woman named Antoinette Poindexter, who is Nannie Helen Burroughs' cousin. She has been spending the past few years trying to research more information on her cousin, and through that YouTube, she and I became friends, and she was able to give me information. In addition to some of the women who have been principals at the school here in Washington, D.C., that it was founded by Nannie Helen Burroughs in 1909, which still exists today. And so I was able to do all of this research, and for years I portrayed Sonia Carson, who is the mother of Ben Carson, which was a very interesting role for me as a woman. And I took a little bit of the information that I learned from doing that play to create a one-woman show. And it starts as Nannie Helen Burroughs did. Every day at noon, she went into her office, closed the door, and prayed. And she took her hour there before she did anything for the rest of the afternoon. And I also move into another scene where she is out with her class, you know, talking to the classroom, giving them a little instruction on womanhood and some of the things they were going to do to raise money, because the big issue has always been keeping private schools open. And then we move on into her delivery of a speech to a church congregation about saving our girls. So Senghor helped me produce the play. He was instrumental in keeping all of this going, and his name Senghor means descendant of the ancestors. And so I have to honor him for always keeping the ancestors in our space and always keeping their names and their presence alive. And so I have two wonderful portraits of her that were gifted to me by Zama Cook, who also works with Baye Services. And so I'm constantly in her midst. I'm constantly talking to her. I'm creating information about her through information that I read and trying to keep the stories going. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful joy doing this show to raise money for this camp.
Awesome. And you have to bless us with your incredible voice, because you have to. I mean, someone has to sing for me. So I know that you do the song in there, but what was more important is that you wanted to share the stage with your son for your 55th birthday.
Yes.
And he plays, is that upright bass?
He plays the upright bass.
Awesome production. Yes. And many people didn't see this. I know it was recorded at Multimedia Trinity Institute in D.C.
Yes.
So for those people who didn't see it and they'd like to see it, can you just give us a little piece of a song so they can hear your incredible voice?
Oh my gosh.
On Pep Talk TV.
You would ask me to do
I
that.
would.
And I really don't even know what I would sing.
Anything is fine, Kathy. Just do it.
Just do it. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, one of the songs that I love to sing is a chant. Carlene Davis, a sister from your home in Jamaica. And it's off of one of her albums. And I sing this at home all the time. And I'm a woman of God. First, you need to know that, as was Nannie Helen Burroughs. Oh, Lord, we give you all the glory. We honor you. We magnify your name. Oh, Lord, we give you all the glory. We honor you. We magnify your name. We love you. So my little girls will sing that every day.
Oh my God, I had to squeeze her out for her to stop, because I felt like she was singing to me. And I've actually been blessed to be in more personal spaces with Kathy for retreats and other stuff. So I'm really into this lady and her chemistry. So before I lose sight of why we're here, can you just educate us a little bit more about I Thinks to Colored Greens? What is the mission, and when is this retreat, and how can people who are watching help?
The mission of the organization is to take young girls from childhood through adolescence to help them bloom into true women. We find that our girls are lacking in certain areas. And so our focus has to do with service, service to self, service to the community, and mostly service to God. The way we will do this is through Nannie Helen Burroughs' teaching of the 3 B's. She used the Bible, the broom, and the bathtub. We're not just looking at the Bible, but we are looking at spiritual teachings to ground our young girls. We are looking at the bath, meaning cleanliness of themselves, teaching them hygiene, proper nutrition, health things that they don't necessarily learn at home. And then we are looking at them learning how to keep their space, be a steward of the earth, a good steward of the earth, and create a home environment that is good for them and good for the children that will. It is up to us as women to create homes and create spaces where people can grow and spiritually, grow mentally, grow physically. And that's our goal for our girls.
And how are you sourcing these 50 girls that you're trying to take? If I know a girl who, what's the age range, first of all?
The age range for the 6-week camp is from 5 to 13 years old. We will have girls 14 to 16 who are coming through the Summer Youth Employment Program who will be working with us as counselors. We are sourcing these girls through advertising. Young girls in wards 4 and 5, 5 to 13, will only have to pay $50 tuition for a 6-week camp from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we want that word out. $50 is all their parents have to pay from June 25th through August 3rd. They will be at the Davis Center in Northwest Washington. They can reach us through ithinkstocollegegreens.org, or they can call 202-545-8008 and get a camp application, and we will send it to them and they can fill it out and then come on board. The girls who go with us in South Carolina will be girls who we will be pulling from the camp. We have made the decision that we want them to already have a basic understanding of what our mission is, make sure that they can in fact contribute in a positive way so that they can go away for that week and come back and help us to form nanny circles here in Washington, D.C. so we can keep that going on Saturdays.
Okay, and as a part of your recruitment for girls, are you enlisting the help of like community people?
Yes, I am enlisting the help of community people. We are putting information out to churches, at the rec centers in Washington, through the sororities and other women's organizations. This is how Dr. Burroughs did her work. She worked within the community to pull the girls to come to her school. She was a community woman, and that's what I am. And so I'm just taking everything that I'm doing from her. I'm following in her footsteps.
Awesome. Well, we want to congratulate you on that grant from CYITC.
Thank you very much. It was a big deal.
That's the Children's Youth Investment Trust Foundation in Washington, D.C., I believe. And the website, again, for Kathy, it's very tricky. It's things, the number 2, collegegreens.org. Is there a telephone number or something they can call?
The phone number is 202-545-8008. And my cell phone number is 202-368-8721 if you would like to have a production of Nanny Live. And we'll come out.
Awesome. We're looking forward to this. I want to thank you again for coming on
the
show, my sweetie. And we will catch you another time on Pep Talk TV. Keep it locked.